The Winter Olympics are upon us. I'm excited. I love sitting down and watching not only the hockey, but all the events, rooting for your country, rooting for athletes. Here on One Time All Stars, we have a few former Olympians and an upcoming Olympian that we are going to talk to. Former Olympian Patrik Eliáš. Let's get his experience and his insight into what it was like to be an Olympian for his native Czechia. It's Olympic season. You missed the 98 team, right? That won the gold, the Czech team?
Yes, I did.
But you played in what, 02, 06, 2010?
I played in four Olympics.
Four
actually.
Olympics. Oh, yeah.
2006, 2010, and 2014.
14, that's right. Sochi. Okay, yeah, there we go. So you obviously have a ton of experience there. You know what it means.
Yeah.
I like to get Europeans' perspective because I think priorities are a little different when you grow up in Europe. Like you guys, I know you want to win national team events, the World Championships, Olympics. Was that kind of a bigger goal for you than the Stanley Cup growing up? Or, I know once you get to the NHL, you want to win the Stanley Cup, but when you were a kid, did you dream of winning a gold medal or a world championship or even your Czech league for Kladno, or was it, you wanted to win the Stanley Cup as well?
I wanted to play for the national teams, but again, it was after I left to Kladno, that's
right.
So I was 14, 15 years old. All of a sudden I went for a first tryout. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got invited and I made it the first time, and I actually didn't miss any of those tournaments, any invites for next 3 years, because it was only until U16, U17, U18.
Right.
I watched some of the World Championships, and there were some huge ones in our history, beating Russia and the Olympics, obviously. Any sport, over the weekend when there was a time to relax a little bit in those two channels that we had, all we watched was sports, with that and two of my brothers, right? Poor mom, right? It was, like I said, I was aware of the World Championships, playing for Czechoslovakia. Back then we were still one country, and obviously the Olympics, but I had no idea about National Hockey League and Stanley Cup. So that came out later. So yes, to answer your question, the Olympics kind of was part of me a lot earlier than maybe eventually trying to win a Stanley Cup. And in '98, I wasn't part of it. I was already in with the Devils, obviously, and I had a great season. At that time, and couple guys got hurt, and it was in they had one spot open. I think Vinny Prospal got hurt, and it was between me, Peter Sikora, and Milan Hajduk.
Oh, pretty good players.
Yeah, pretty good players. And coach was the late Ivan Linka, and he had actually great feel. I played for him a couple of World Championships, and he had a great feel for putting a team together, and he wasn't afraid to kind of mix it up. And at that time, we had a 90-plus NHL guys. So that was kind of like, whoa, he's bringing almost half of the team from Europe. What he did, he actually, for that spot, he picked Milan Hajduk because he saw him in Czech league, and he played unbelievable here, and so he knew what type of player he was. He wasn't he didn't see any of our game. I'm assuming, so that's why he picked him, and rightfully so. It worked out, and they were a big surprise, big underdogs. But Dominik Hasek was
I remember watching that as a kid. It was so good.
So
a shootout.
Obviously, if he wasn't part of it, the problem. I'm confident to say that the results would be different. But he was fantastic, and it's the biggest accomplishment, biggest win for our country. But then me being part of it, I loved it. In 2002, it was in Salt Lake, it was fantastic. I had the games, against some of the players. You look at on the other side. I watch who I'm playing against. I was so wowed and
crazy.
I was humbled by it and crazy who you lining up against. And we lost one against Russia, 1-0 that game. So we didn't get a very advance, and that was tough. But being in the village, Olympic village, and all of a sudden you start, you go again into 6 in Milan. It was in
Torino
in Torino, in Italy. And I got hurt. That was another story. I got hurt my first game. I got cross-checked I think it was like 12th minute in the first game against Germany. Sasha Gaj, he was drafted by the Devils, so we were.
You remember like it was yesterday.
He was in the minors, and I was up, and he cross-checked me in front of that.
Same team, man.
Same team, and I left. That was it. That was my Olympics, and we got a bronze medal, so I got it. But I actually have it here, kind of.
That's awesome. Let's see it. That's so cool. I mean, just getting a medal, an Olympic medal.
Yeah, I got the medal here from Turin 2000.
That's very cool.
So I still have it because it was the most painful Olympic, but the shortest one. And actually, Dominator got hurt also, so we that first game, so we left. I realized I had a smallest pants that were there.
Didn't come up high enough.
Oh my God! Like I usually wear size 54 or something. So I'm looking at it, they were like 50. I'm like, what happened? And then Marty Erad was sitting beside me, and he switched it. Because it was bigger. He switched it. He didn't tell me anything.
That caused the cross check to get right in there.
Probably because I was like,
right in your ribs, or
pants were like way lower than we're supposed to be. So who knows?
Did you break a rib, or what happened? You just got caught.
The last floating rib. It wasn't broken, but I don't know if there's like they said that the cartilage or something was. And I couldn't move. I couldn't breathe. And obviously Lou wasn't happy. I was out for another 3 weeks or 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 2010 in Vancouver, that was, I had my wife there and my sister-in-law and family and friends. And that was just, being in Canada, it was so cool.
Yeah.
And for me, it was a privilege because I was a captain of the national team, for Olympics. So that was fantastic. And 2014 in Sochi, I came in from, and I had a good season, everything, but I came in and I got sick. I was just already kind of ran down, and then right away, as soon as I got there, I got a flu. So I was out for the first 5-6 days. So I couldn't play. So that was kind of like a little
not
bit
as good.
Not as good. So, but overall, just being in a village and experiencing and going to the events, that
seemed like the coolest part to me. I mean, I never had the opportunity, but it seems like that would be the most fun, just rubbing elbows with all these elite athletes and other countries and cultures. Like the village seems like it'd be a ton of fun.
Oh yeah, you go eat right in a cafeteria or something, and I'm like, okay, that's her, that's him. Like, oh my God, congrats! You tell them, even that you're from the different country. I just watch you kind of like share that experience and have a respect for each other, and I can't wait. Should be a lot of fun.
Now we have the captain of the New Jersey Devils, Nico Hischier. He has some cool stories about how he served in the military for his country, his native Switzerland, and how that ties into his upcoming Olympic experience. So let's hear what he has to say about that.
Do you know any of the other athletes?
Yes. So actually, because of the military thing, you get together like an age group with other athletes too. So when I was doing that, like we were together with some freestyle skiers or snowboarders, bobsledding, like stuff like that. So it was cool to kind of like interact with these other athletes and get to know these people. Yeah.
Brian, you just mentioned it. That's incredibly exciting for you, the Olympics. It's what an honor to represent your country. I wanted to ask you, because I think European guys view it differently than North Americans. Like when you were a kid growing up, did you dream of winning like the National League championship with Bern? Did you want to win a gold medal? Did you want to win the Stanley Cup? Like what was young Nico in his driveway pretending to do when he was a kid? Because I know sometimes the European priorities, you guys aren't as Stanley Cup focused as we are. So I was curious as to what your dream was when you were growing up.
I dreamed of winning them all. That's what I dreamed of. No, but it is a good question. But I think like obviously Olympics every 4 years, it's hard to win that. And like me personally, I think it's harder for me to win an Olympics game than like Stanley Cup would be more realistic. I feel like because if I want to be a realistic person, because we have a good team for Switzerland for sure. But like if everybody comes, like the other team has some pretty good teams. It's going to be very hard to beat. But I think like meaning wise for me, a Stanley Cup would mean like the most, I would say so. Because like I think it's just something different when you like go through a whole season with like guys and playoffs too. Like you guys know like how hard that just the whole season is, and then like playoffs. Like I've only been to the second round, so you guys know better there too. Like it's another level there as well. So to win the Stanley Cup, I think that's what I would rank the most for myself personally.
There's a reason why the first round gets so much play. And there's a number of reasons because there's so many games going on. But the first round, it's like a sprint. It's like its own thing. And then once like the dust settles, right, and then there's only 8 teams left after the first round, it's a little bit more tactical. And I always remember that having played, gone past the first round a few times, it's just like, well, all right, you can kind of take a breath and reset. And like you said, it's so hard, 82 games,
Yeah.
grind through it, you get your seeding, and then it's like it could be done in 8 or 9 days, or you could just be like, okay, that's over. Next chapter. I agree with you. It's so hard.
Yeah.
But the experience that you've had in the past, it'll come back to you, which is a cool thing. And don't slow play the Swiss either. Like
No,
you're
yeah.
slow
No, I
playing
wasn't.
it, and they're just like, no, we're
No,
just happy
no.
to be here, and you guys just grind.
No, I don't for sure. Like, but I'm confident. Like we have a good group. I am confident, but we also know like there will be some other teams standing on the other side than let's say for in the World Championship.
I don't know if US and Canada, like US Canada just obviously is a big rivalry. They hate each other when that puck drops. Does Switzerland have one of those?
We have kind of like a rivalry with Germany, if I would say one. Yeah.
No, you got to get those guys.
Who do you guys have in net? I kind of forgot. Is it Giannoni? Is he still playing?
Giannoni's still there.
That
Yeah.
guy's been around forever, and he's been ripping
Yeah.
it up in the Swiss league.
So,
Like, he's the
he-
best goalie in the world nobody knows about.
Yeah, still is good. Yeah, it's still going. Reto Berra and Akira Schmid.
Oh, that's right, Schmitty.
Oh,
Yeah.
hips don't lie.
That's right.
Shakira.
A lot was made of like the U.S. had a camp, and like Canada had a camp. Have the Swiss? Have you guys been in touch since the team was named? Like, have you had any meetings virtually or plans? Or you guys just kind of showing up?
This summer we had like a kickoff event where they kind of we had some meetings and some interviews and stuff like that, and that's kind of like I think that's another asset. I think that we should take pride for the Swiss team. Like we know each other so well already. I think like we're played in already very well. Like we know each other from like different tournaments. So that I mean the hockey world is small. I get that, but I think like team spirit wise, I think that's something we definitely have an edge on some other teams.
And we also got the legendary Martin Brodeur, who represented his country, Canada, many times, multiple gold medal winner, to join us on the show. So let's take a listen to that. Are you heading over to Italy for the Olympics at all? Or are you staying home and taking some time off?
Taking some time off. I got a few things I have to do for Canada as far as interviews and stuff, but I'm staying put.
Yeah,
smart. Beauty of Zoom. I don't have to travel anywhere.
That's so nice, man. I mean, just talking Olympics. I mean, you're obviously a veteran. You played in many Olympics, won some gold medals, so we don't have to get too much into that. But I'm just curious to get your thoughts on specifically just the tournament in general and Canada. But I want to ask you about Canada's goaltending, because for me, growing up, it was Patty Waugh, you, Luongo, Fleury, Price, like just a murderer's row of goaltending, and that's what I think made you guys so good. And now it seems Canada's really having a hard time finding that next guy. I know Binnington got the job done last time, but I don't know if he'd be considered an upper echelon guy. So I was just curious, A, what's your perspective for Canada this Olympics? And B, what do you think has been happening in Canada when it comes to producing goaltenders?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. Like a lot of people ask me that question, and it's kind of hard to understand a little bit because we were somewhat so dominant for years. You just look at the stats of some of the French Canadian goalies only with, Patty Roy and myself, Luongo, Fleury, we're on top of the list. And now we're kind of scraping to see like who's going to be the next guy. I feel we have a lot of talent, but I don't think we don't have any like top end goalies. You look at, Russia's not there. All the top goalies in the NHL right now are Russian goalies. So it's going to be interesting to see like which direction Canada's going to take. Obviously I'm a big fan of Binnington. Know him personally and the job he did, the big saves he made late in the game against the U.S. of the Four Nation. He's a gamer. But obviously the season hasn't gone great for him this year. So it'll be interesting to see where they go. But, to your question, I just don't know. I think there's phases. I guess in hockey, there's eras that right now goaltending. And, like I've been asked a lot of that question. We don't even have a French Canadian hockey player that plays for Canada this year in Team Canada. And that's the first time ever.
Whoa.
And it's like what's going on? Like, how come we can't have a superstar that's French Canadian? And so it's a big debate in Canada. Obviously for the people from where I'm from, like how come we don't have them anymore? The reason I don't know. I wish I could have the answer because we had a lot more people being dominant. But I feel that, when you get to the Olympics, it's a short tournament, and if they pick the right guy, they'll be in good in good standing with the tournament. But the same thing with the U.S. I mean, they have three really good goalies. Which one do you pick? And
Yeah.
that's always the $1 million question for them.
Marty, how much is this? Like, does the league or does Canada miss Francois and Benny Allaire? Like, you guys,
Oh,
did you
I
work
don't.
with
I know
them?
for sure. He never
Yeah.
coached me, so.
Right. So he didn't coach you. That's interesting. But like they were the goalie whisperers, and I don't know, maybe I'm just some
No, I
dumb
understand.
English pig with no brain who's down here thinking like, oh, they're French, and I see these French guys they've worked with, and I've seen them work with Hank. I've seen them, these guys that they revered, those
Yeah.
goalie coaches out of
No, no, I understand what you're saying. I was just joking there.
out
But it's funny. It's just I think the development of our goalies is not has been as good as in the past. Probably I
Right.
don't know if it's because of the effect of a lot of coaches are going to go in Europe and find the techniques because now the Swedish guys are good. Now the Russian guys are good. And but again, I think there's enough talent and there's enough will in Canada to be better than what we are now. And it's going to happen. I think it's going to reverse its course at one point. But right now, I think we're kind of in the low part of the talent pool. But not saying that they're not good. They're still good goalies. It's just I think that they're not. And again, the system of two goalies everywhere, it's kind of hard to kind of put yourself and say, hey, I'm the good goalie. Like now it's like 50-50. So even though you're be a good goalie, well, they're going to protect you because God forbid you played with back-to-back games. Like that's to me, like it doesn't make any sense. If Scott Stevens could play 82 games, I'm pretty sure I could play 82 games too. My job's a lot easier.
Well, there we have it. Just talking some Olympics. They're underway right now, and I just got to say these are some of my favorite events of the year. Whether it's the summer games, the winter games, representing your country is something I've had the fortune of doing several times, from World Juniors, under 18s, up until World Championships, the World Cup of Hockey in 2016. And as an athlete, I got to tell you, it never gets old. There's nothing that gets boring about it. Seeing USA across your chest, and for athletes of other countries representing their colors. So. It really is hard to describe. I know we as fans really get invested, and you want your country to succeed, but you have to appreciate the amount of work and effort and talent that these athletes have. And I think that's what's so special about the Olympic Games. It's once every 4 years, and to get there, to get to that pinnacle of your sport for your country, it's a really unique experience. And I wish everyone had the opportunity to do it. I know we can live through these athletes and cheer them on. But there's just a different mindset that comes over. As soon as you go and you meet as a team, you all look at each other and you say, this is the best of the best that we have to offer. And I think that's what makes, especially the hockey tournament for me, is the best on best. We haven't had it in 12 years. So you have a whole generation of superstars who've never played in the Olympics, the Connor McDavids, the Jack Hughes, the Austin Matthews, the Nate McKinnon. So I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to cheering the Devils guys on. They got 7 or 8 of them in there, I think. So you have plenty of countries to root for if you're a Devils fan, if USA is not playing. But I think that's the magic of the games, is that no matter what, I'm turning on a game. I don't care if it's Latvia and Germany. I don't care if it's Canada, Sweden. I'm going to be watching every game I can because we only get the best on best so often. So I hope you all enjoy it. I hope you guys really tune into this and enjoy the break in the NHL season. But we still have hockey, so that's awesome. So I hope you really enjoyed this mini episode on the Olympics, and like and subscribe if you can, and appreciate you guys listening.